Welcome back, everybody, to another show of Hoot Loot, a Hoot Entertainment production. And if you're getting a little jealous because I'm wearing this nifty shirt, we're going to have many, many more, with part of the proceeds going to charity, a real one, not a BS one like others. Now, the show is called Be Bold, Go for the Gold. And crisis and opportunity are two ends of the spectrum. As a matter of fact, the yin and yang. And we'd love for you to like and subscribe so you can follow us in action every time we're on. And we'll give you plenty of good ideas to make money, not lose money. And with that, please like and subscribe, share, do whatever you have to do. The buttons are here and the buttons are there. And we'll be back in a flash. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to show you some amazing charts. And remember, be informed, be amused, but never be misled. This is the wrong place to go if you're full of propaganda and brainwashed by the cable news network and their affiliates. They cause mental illness, the leading cause, as a matter of fact. And I could go on, but I won't, because I got nothing to say. I got a lot to say today. This is a chart that has no comment, needs no comment. And I'm going to let you just sink it in and gasp. You done? I thought so. Now, if anything doesn't predict a depression, I don't know what would. The economy is weaker than it ever's been, and now gas prices are reaching record levels on a wholesale basis, even on a after-tax basis. They're out of the atmosphere. So get ready for some rough times economically, but we will show you the exit door, stage left. All right? Now, let's go on. Bitcoin. This is one of the canaries in the coal mine because it attracts hot money. And what a coincidence. Ukraine legalized Bitcoin about 3 weeks ago. I said 2 weeks on the chart, but it's actually 17 days ago. They legalized it just minutes before Russia invaded. Wonder why they did that. About $100 million and counting is reportedly sent to fund the troops in Ukraine by Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. Okay, now on to Tesla. Now you can see what a downtrend looks like, or a bear market looks like. Declining highs, declining lows sequentially. And look at that. Tesla fits the pattern exactly. Okay? And here's another cool stock, ARC Innovation. Look at that. Some things go up, but they come down just as fast. And one day you're a hero, and the next day you're a goat. And everyone here has lost money. If someone brags to you about making money in the crypto sector or affiliated crypto sector, they're lying. Or they're very, very lucky. They're not making money. Bitcoin doesn't exist. It's just a fiction, a password, if you will. Now, the final canary in the coal mine is the IPO Renaissance ETF. Now, an ETF is a pool of stocks. Now, this looks just like ARC Innovation because they invested in EPOs themselves. And look at what happened to them. No one's making money. And that changes the dynamic because now everybody will rush to the exits. And just to break even, okay? And that's why that kind of pattern is so revealing. And we'll go on from here. The Dow Jones Industrials, another pattern, another downtrend, another bear market. I'd be dinging all day if I had to. And why not do it a little more? Let's do it. Ding, ding to everything. All right? Except for the happy bell. And we're going to share our joy with gold. And this bell happens to be a shade of gold. And this ringing, I hear this ringing. Did I tinnitus or something? Nah, I'll just get rid of the bell. All right. Let's see. Now, 5 years weekly on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you can see a bear flag and a breakthrough and lower highs and lower lows. Ergo, a bear market and a downtrend. You're not going to make money buying the dips anymore, but people still have hope, and hope never is a good ally. It eases your mind, maybe, perhaps, but I think there's something better to ease my mind. Believe me. Now, the NASDAQ 100, this was the original ding-ding we did on January 7th when the NASDAQ was way upon the red circle, okay? And this is firmly in downtrend too. Lower highs, lower lows. Lower highs, lower lows, a downtrend. Higher highs, higher lows, an uptrend. Simple as that, okay? Don't blame me if you don't get it, because we're going to keep showing to it. All right, now the S&P 500, I'd be ringing that bell all day. Higher highs and lower lows, or lower highs and lower lows. Again, bear market one more time. S&P small cap, bear flag, which is an upward sloping rectangle. If it's downward sloping, it's a bull flag, typically. This is a bear flag, which means it's likely to break down instead of up. If it breaks up, it's a sign of exhaustion and people greedy, so freaking greedy, they're chasing it all the way because it's so cool to own Bitcoin or something overvalued and have imagination of the future that you're going to be rich and everybody's going to be rich with you. Where do you get that idea? The Dow Jones Industrial Average 2 is in a downtrend. Look at that. Lower highs, lower lows, period. Now, transportation is very, very important as a sign of the economy and the economic strength. And when goods go from here to there, and that's what they do. The U.S. dollar, surprisingly, has experienced what appears to be a flight to safety. And it's broken out of an ascending wedge. I've been wrong about the dollar from day one. I and everybody's brother believed that it was going down because they printed so many of them. And somehow, some way, we do have inflation, but the dollar keeps going up. What's up? I'll tell you what's up. The other nations are even worse than we are. This is an index, not an absolute. So we're only going up on the dollar because other countries, like in Europe, are definitely worse shape than we are. US dollar 20 years monthly. Look at that. If it breaks out from the 104 level where the green line is, you can expect a big dollar rally from here. Because if it breaks down, we're below the red line, watch out. And I'm going to take a little guess that a little watching out is warranted, and you'll see why. CRB, commodities index, going ape. Okay, look at that. I can't believe it. You know, this index is made of all commodities. All commodities. Some of them have to be going down, aren't they? But no, this went up at 15% in 3 days, so something like. It's had a little retracement, but this is evidence of hyperinflation, I guarantee you. Who the hell is that? Oh, Christ. Pan Presidente, jako dla was. Tak. Tak. Well, shut the хочешь. Нет! Нет! Иди до дупы! I'm sorry about that. I had to tell him in Ukrainian to go stick it where the sun don't shine, which is what I did. He wanted me to act as a propagandist for his brutal regime, and that's what I said it. I'm a little proud of myself right now, so you have to forgive me. I'd give myself a pat on the back if I had a back. Okay, let's go. All right, so we'll go on to crude oil. But, you know, I'm still a little steamed over the Putin call. What a What a low-class guy. Sorry. That's my condition. Anyway, crude oil has gone from negative to $130 a barrel, okay, in just a span of a year, a little over a year. Now, no one thought about putting a windfall profits subsidy on them when they get killed, but now Pocahontas wants to start a windfall profits tax. It didn't work then, and it won't work now. It caused the same exact thing to happen. That's why she's insane. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You're going to get your ass handed to you, Poco, and we'll go on from here. Natural gas. Now, this chart needs to be explained, okay? Russia is responsible for most of the natural gas exports in Europe. That's number one. The U.S. is self-sufficient. So their market is different than our market because we can't transport natural gas in its natural state. It has to be put in a tanker, frozen container, and shipped. And it's not very fast shipped, if you will. So it's hard to export, and to still be competitive. And so we're not going to see that. But the spike in Russian natural gas got so high at one time that the energy equivalent was equal to $367 a barrel. What do you think of that? You know what gas prices would be if crude was at $367 a barrel? Let's see. Let me put on my calculator here, my human calculator, and I will tell you in a moment. Oh, okay. I have the answer now. I don't know. That's the answer. After all that. Okay, wheat. Now, Ukraine is called the breadbasket of Europe for a reason. They have very, very fertile agricultural land, and you can bet Putin wants to get his hands on it, okay? And that's part of it, but it's not all of it, and you see a spike and a retracement, and this thing, I believe, will continue higher here because there's going to be a major market disruption. One of the problems of having boycotts and sanctions is that you might be missing one key ingredient to complete what you're doing. For example, wheat needs certain phosphorus fertilizers, which are not available here. We depend on them. So there's really a problem that doesn't have a clear-cut solution. Exactly. And wheat shows you that it is quite a problem. And if you're thinking of buying some bread, I'd be doing it today. Corn, another thing that has been just jetting up, and I'm showing you that because it's ever present. It's in methane and ethanol and all that kind of stuff. It even affects energy. Certain countries like Brazil supply 10% of their gasoline needs with methanol or ethanol or lucianethyl. I don't know. Soybeans, they're going up too. Okay. I mean, basically, you're looking at higher food. No, you're looking at me. We're looking at higher food prices, that is. And because you're looking at me, you want me. I know that, and so do you. If I was a woman, I'd be all over it. So let's go on to lumber. Lumber through this, I have to. All right, now lumber started to look like it was going to go up, but it's in a bear flag, and so let's say its status is negative to uncertain, okay? I still think that inflation will lift the price of every single thing eventually, okay? Copper miners, and copper is the other key building product that is sold on the commodities exchange, and this is the copper miners. The copper miners ETF broke out too, and copper's going up too, and keep your pennies. Not that they're copper anymore, they're zinc, but there's probably a shortage in zinc. And actually, there's a shortage in nickels. There's a nickel. It's far more than a nickel now. Nickel is so invaluable now that a Chinese tycoon short sold on the London Mercantile Exchange, or Metals Exchange, $8 billion worth of nickel, and now he's got a margin call of a lot, let's say, real money. And he's in a mess. Let's just say he's in a mess, and now the banks are in a mess, and their mess is our mess because we're all interconnected. So you can't just say, poor him. Okay, now we're going to get something really fun. This is not all a downer. Silver. Hi-oh, silver! Away! And it's going to go up. Look at that. This is the 1-year chart, and it looks like so good right now. And I'm going to show you something else here too. 20 years. Now this is a very bullish chart. It's called a cup and handle, where you have a rounded bottom followed by a period of consolidation, in this case sideways. Now when it breaks above 30, and it's approaching 30 right now, it closed, I believe it closed in the $28 range. The chart says 26. I'm not sure why. But nonetheless, we're going to see silver higher. It's almost a foregone conclusion. I hate saying that because it sounds like I believe it 100%. Nothing is guaranteed, okay? Nothing is guaranteed. So I'm enthusiastic about it, but I want everyone to be cautious about it because things are happening that we don't know about. Gold is good as gold. Be bold and go for the gold. That's why. One picture says it all. Now, gold's last bull market, real bull market, not this tiny bull market, it went from 35 an ounce to $800 an ounce in 9 years, or a 23 times explosion. And they did it because the French demanded gold for their dollars, and so they closed what was called the gold window, and you could no longer get gold from the Fed or a bank for dollars. And that was when it was called Bretton Woods. It was a reset of the currencies. And currencies were allowed to float. They were not fixed. And so gold exploded in that run. I have a hunch it's going to do something similar. And if we just look at where it is now, around 2000, take 20 times that, what does that give you? 40, 50,000? Yeah. It's possible. It's very possible. Not that a world with $50,000 gold is going to be a world you want to live in, but at least you'll have the gold. That'll be worth something. All right. So here's gold for 20 years, and this shows. I put 600%, but if you really go back, this is 71 when Bretton Woods occurred and the dollar came off the gold standard. So this particular bull market was like 800, 600, 700%, depending on how you look at it. And that would project to approximately 8,000. So you can pretty much bet that gold is going higher from here. The only question is how high and how bad is it going to get to send that high? We'll find out. It's a mystery. Okay, gold and silver miners. Now these tend to lead gold and silver, and they do. They broke out. Look at that. And we've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. We're still talking about it because it's still early in the market, in the bull market. Early. It's not too late to buy, but you better hit the exits on all the junk that you have, because that is going down, down, down. Okay? I'm sorry to say it, but it's going to go down. And this gives me an opportunity to ring the happy bell. Service, please. Bellboy, where are you? Garçon! Garçon! Boy, what a bad hotel. Can't find good people anymore, can you? Okay, so gold and silver miners have broken out. They look great. I mean, that is just a picture-perfect chart if you ever want to see one. Now, Yamana gold, which is sometimes called Yamana, it too has broken out. And look at that beautiful chart. Now, we don't know how high it's going to go, but if it's broken out, what are the odds that this is going to lead the rally and maybe be a leader? The miners always tend to amplify the move in the underlying metal because they're leveraged. They have operating leverage. Okay, now Yamana is great. Okay, so it's not too late to buy this either. Okay, Silvercorp Metals is primarily a silver manufacturer, producer, miner. And it has just broken out. It's a very good time to buy this too. I Am Gold. No, this is a company called I Am Gold. I'm not gold. It's not that I know of. There's some gold behind me. I have a gold bell. But the company's called I Am Gold. Who would have thunk it? And the reason you want to take a look at some of these junior miners that are selling at 3, 4, 2, or under $5, say. These are acquisition targets. All right. I guarantee you that before it's over, you're going to see a lot of these companies merge with others like Newmont or Barrick, the big boys. Okay. And the big boys will suffer for it. They will benefit from it because usually they do a stock exchange for stock exchange. And that tends to punish the acquirer and benefit the acquiree. So you want to focus on acquirees, not acquirers, I think. Boy, that was hard to say. All right, let's go on. Okay, core mining. Now it's core for a reason. It's heart mining. It used to be Coeur d'Alene, heart of gold. And I doubt anybody running a company like this has one. I highly doubt it. But anyway, this one is one that, this chart wouldn't necessarily move me, which is why you have to use different time frames. Let's see. I had a 20-year chart, and we may have had a little bit of technical difficulties, but the point I'll show you in the charts coming up. Eldorado Gold also talked to you about it breaking up, okay, and it has, and that's really good. Now, I was also going to show you a 20-year chart too, but because Eldorado has hit 150 in the past, 150, and Coeur d'Alene, or core mining as it's now called, has hit 80, okay, and their core is trading at 4. Okay, and Eldorado is trading at 11. And it's already been to 75 at a lower price for gold. Okay, I hope so. I feel like I'm talking to myself. What's up? Is anybody out there? Okay, well, never mind. I hear voices. It's that cable thing. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so we're going on to more inflationary stuff. And these are called TIP, or Treasury Inflation Protected Securities, and these have formed an aborted rounded top, which means that the transition nature of inflation, as Mr. Biden and his cabinet would be telling us would happen, actually Jay Powell and his cronies would be telling us that. This is telling us quite the opposite, actually. We have bull flag here. Now, bull flag is a downward sloping flag. I'm so deep. Okay, it's a downward sloping flag, which is a sort of a rhomboid or rectangle that is pointing in a downward direction. It typically occurs following a tremendous run-up, and it typically is a period of consolidation before the next run-up. And look at this. That's exactly what happened. 5-year Treasury Index. Now, these should be yielding something like 10% right now, okay? But they're 2. Why is that? I'll tell you why is that, okay? We have a hell of a budget deficit. We have a hell of a national debt, $30 trillion of national debt, and $3 trillion of budget deficit. We'll never pay it back. We'll never pay it back. And therefore, there's going to have to be something done to prevent an interest rate at 10. Because an interest rate at 10, I guarantee you we're going to have a depression. All right? Guarantee you. No politician, bless their hearts, as they say in the South. You know what that means. Bless his heart means, what an idiot. That's the translation, literally. Okay? Okay. So, 10-year U.S. Treasury Index has gone up around 2%, and again, it has a downward sloping trend line that goes to 2.5. And this thing is also going to be constrained by the fact that the Fed cannot raise rates, and they cannot not raise rates. I mean, they're caught between a rock and a hard place, I think. And if you want to see more about it, we did a full analysis of it, and it's written on the screen. You can probably copy and paste it, or copy it down, put it in, and learn about the Fed. Okay, they're your treasuries, same thing. I'll go on. Okay? All right, now let's talk about something completely different. A man with $3. That's from Monty Python, by the way, and I'm sure you're too old to have remembered Monty Python, but you're lost. And I've been here since the beginning of time, so, I didn't do comedy from a certain era. I don't know what's going on with my head. Too much cable news. I can't help it. All right, Apple actually looks pretty good, but once again, it's broken. Now it's broken up below its trend line, and unfortunately, I wrote that in green a couple of days ago and forgot to change it. It was above the trend line. It's now below the trend line, and so, but that's irrelevant because it's making tops below tops, bottoms below bottoms. It's in a downtrend. It's in a bear market. Simple. Amazon, nothing needs to be said. It's broken down. End of story. Meta platforms, I could go on and on and on and on and on about Zuckerberg. Facebook is the whole, actually Meta platforms, virtual reality. I wish he'd live in reality instead of virtual reality. And the great irony of the week is that he censored Putin, who accused him of censorship. And yes, he does censorship quite freely. As a matter of fact, any country that calls for Putin's assassination is allowed to post. Do you think he's biased? I kind of think so too. Anyway, Meta is the holding company for InstaScam, as I now refer to it, InstaScam, where you can go get drugs, horse, hookers, or whatever you want. That's illegal. Still, okay. I wouldn't do that, of course. Okay. Just so that you know. All right. And it's just, I won't even say any more about it. It's just gotten blasted. It is a walking class action lawsuit. I guarantee it. All right. So we'll go on to Google or Alphabet, and it broke down to it's a good company. It's nothing to do with the company. It has to do with the level of interest rates and competing assets. Okay, simple as that. If the interest rates start going up, it will start going down for a reason. The reason it being that the discount rate of future expected earnings is lower. That's why. Microsoft breaking down again from a rounded top reversal. I have to say it's a pattern that usually doesn't fail, and I don't think it'll fail now. Look at it's already broken down. So you don't have any wolves or Malamutes or Huskies to pull you up anymore. Sorry. NVIDIA. Oh, I love NVIDIA as a product. It's good for gamers. I'm loath to admit that I'm a gamer, but I am. And NVIDIA is a great chip. But I thought there was a shortage of great chips. And apparently, I don't know what to think. Because look at it, it's going down with everything. And like I said before, it could be a great company. You can make a great product. NVIDIA does. Okay? I have NVIDIA for a reason. It's the best. Okay? Netflix, 50% off sale. Right there for you. And this thing is a horror. This thing is a horror. So they might as well put on Jason in a Jason mask every time they put on one of their shows, because they've been losing subscribers, including yours truly. Now, Ethereum's an interesting thing. I'll talk about cryptos because you all care about them so damn much. All right, here's Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, I've been trying to gather whether Ethereum is worth buying and how does it get value, and how does one possibly measure value. And I still can't find an answer, but I found a couple hints. It's a platform, not a cryptocurrency, and the Bitcoin is responsible for tokens like Ripple is, and they're called ethers. And ether is a toxic solvent. I don't know why they would name a currency or a non-currency after a toxic solvent. This is news to me. All right, Ethernet. I'm sorry, Ethernet. Ethereum is a complement to Bitcoin, not a competitor, so it'll have the same pattern. Okay, so Mark Cuban, you weren't so great. Yeah, you may have had a little run there for a time, but you're going to suffer the same fate. All right, Bitcoin 5 years. It is looking pretty good. What are you on here? Okay, it's a token. Who would place money on a token? A bus rider, perhaps? Okay, 25 cents. Bitcoin crash, as I call it now. Look at that. How can you think this is possibly the future when you look at something like this? Okay? How can you possibly do? Yeah, you still do. I still get these, oh, do you know a thing about Bitcoin? On Instascam or Facebook. And I go, no. And then I get the sales pitch that their uncle gives them tips and never loses money. And they earn 2% a day, which compounds to like $1 trillion really fast. And, once pointed out to them, the exit stage right. Goodbye. All right, Bitcoin crash weekly. Okay, it's not the future, people. All right, Litecoin, aka Blitecoin. It's a blight on everything. Oh, that would be 2 Blitecoins, please. Did you ever heard anybody say that? Or think that? Or do that? Never have. Why does it have value? Okay, so we got a 5-year chart just to show you another example of a future that goes nowhere. All right. Cripple, as they now call it, is the 4th market cap leading Bitcoin. Crypto. It's actually a crapto. This is the Russian ruble. The Russian ruble is now under a penny. They won't accept dollars for exports anymore. They only accept rubles. So you can wipe your ass, wipe your butt, and give it to them. I already told Putin that anyway. You can just execute for me. All right. And we have cripple for 5 years. Oh, God. I don't even want to talk about it. A token. You don't own part of the company. You'll never own part of the company. You'll never own anything. I still don't know how to value this at all. At least there's someone there to mind the store. The banking was important, leading the market on the way up. And it's going to be important leading the market on the way down, I'm afraid. It's in a bear flag, an upward sloping flag following an upward trend or spike. That defines a bear flag, which is usually a sign it's breaking down, and it has. And it's just broken down. That occurs with the flattening yield curve, which we're having. The Fed is refusing to interest rates now because of Mr. Putin. I'm sorry. Oh, God, but my shrink says I'm crazy. He's right, by the way. Okay, so the broker-dealer index, also very important. It looks like it is broken down, too. And we had an entire segment on that called Wall Street Greed Makes Investors Bleed. And I encourage you to watch it because it is an expose of banking, all right? An expose. This is an example of what they do and what happens, okay? For example, the IPO price of Beyond Meat, which is supposed to be the next new best thing, 27 chemicals, who knows what. It could have antifreeze in it, for all I know. And the IPO price was $25. Now, you don't get an IPO at $25 unless you're a crony of the guy selling the IPO. They're allocated IPOs, some way at the sponsor or the investment bank, and the favored customers, so the cronies, are the ones to get the IPOs because they typically open up at a premium. and you can immediately sell the stock at the same day and make money, which happened to all the time, or most of the time. And in this case, it happened. There are people that it sold as high as 75. And it went to 240 at the peak of its coolness. It was so cool. Every restaurant was adopting it. But now they're not. Oh, what a crying shame. Now, it's at $36. It's approaching, or $38, approaching the IPO price. I could cry because it's not so cool anymore. All right, the airline index is another indication of economic activity, and no words to be spoken about that. Jet fuel prices are generally unhedged. They bear the full price increase, and therefore they have to raise their airfare. And you still have to wear a mask on an airplane. How fun is that? I can tell you that. It's not fun. All right, the home builders are a sign of the economy too. Lumber prices, interest rates, and copper prices are all going higher, making houses less affordable and making them, the people that sell houses, that manufacture them, go down. It's a very critical sector. All right. Sorry, I'm getting rather emotional today, and I thought I'd share that with you. All right, Costco is a wonderful place to shop. It's in a bear flag, or what appears to be a bear flag, which is occurs when there's been a spike down followed by an upward sloping rectangle. That's a bear flag. Okay, our expectations would be that it would reach the top of that top red line, and that it is on its way down to break below the bottom red line, and probably settle somewhere south. Maybe as low. It could go to a new low. I mean, who thought that Costco would ever get this high, other than something that was high at the time. All right, Home Depot. Home Depot was another company that was on fire for a while, and I speculated that they were earning inventory profits, but I don't know exactly what made them go up and what made them come down so hard. The stimulus definitely had an effect on them. Even the knucklehead president said something about it being someone's fault. I don't know why he knows something about the economy now. Maybe he's watching the show before he starts nodding off. Who knows? And if you want to know about the economy and where it's at, there's a show called "Is a Depression Imminent?" Well, I won't answer that question right now, but if you watch the video, you'll know more. Target, another example of a rounded top and a breakdown, and then a spike up on an earnings report, a bear market rally in Target, and then it loses steam. I can't. That's what Target did. Target. I'm sorry, Target. All right. FedEx is important. FedEx delivers products to the wrong address, may I add. They did to me that 3 times in a week. They delivered somebody else's product to me. I wonder how many products of mine have gone to other people. I won't get hot under the collar, but I am hot under the collar. And I still think you're jealous of this dope shirt. All right. FedEx Corp. Rounded top. Once again, this is a 5-year chart. And usually I label them as such. But this is a long-term chart and a long-term pattern. And it's going to have a long ride down. That's usually the implication of something that looks like that. All right. And finally, we have UPS, which appears to be, which has done better than Federal Express. They apparently execute much better. They have they're more efficient, and they've had good earnings. But it too will bend under the weight of higher interest rates or something, or slower economic activity. And it's going to happen. All right. Now, thank you very much for tuning in. Our movement, and our shirts say this, and we'd love for you to join our family. Vote out all the incumbents. They got us into this mess. Why should they be rehired? Will you be rehired from your job, if you have one, if you pulled off this? If you pulled this BS off? No. You'd be fired. Like a certain member of Congress there, but won't mention her initials. They'll say, ah! And she got rehired. And fired from Hot Dog Got Sick. Hot Dog Got Sick. She couldn't keep a job, and Hot Dog Got Sick. All right. Please like and subscribe. And the icons are all over the place. They're actually lower than me. But share this with everybody. This is a really important subject today and forever. We're on the verge of something imminently bad, I fear. And with that, we'll give you more information. Just tune in next week. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.